Good morning, everyone. This is Honor Rana here, your social science teacher from Cambridge International School, the SUA. I welcome you all in today's session. I hope you all are happy, safe at your home. So, dear children, I am here with my new session, and today we are going to discuss about chapter 3 of civics, that is, what is government. So, can we start? Okay, yes. So first of all, let's discuss about the lessons objectives. The lessons objectives are to know about the government, to understand the importance of government, to know about the types of government, to know about the democratic government, to know about the universal adult franchise, and to know about the suffrage movement. What will be the lessons outcome? At the end of the lesson, the students will be able to know about the government, to understand the importance of government, to know about the types of government, to know about the democratic government, to know about the universal adult franchise, and they will also come to know about the suffrage movement. So, dear children, as the name suggests, what is government? So, first of all, it's very important to know what is government. How can we define this? So, government is a group of people that have the power to rule in a territory according to the law. And you might have heard in news also, in the newspaper also, so many times this word, the government word, is used. Okay, and there are so many decisions the government is taking for us which is affecting us all. Government make laws, rules and regulations, collect taxes, print money. Okay, so these all things are done by the government. Why does a country need a government? Okay, we want to discuss this. Every country needs a government to make decisions and get things done, such as build roads, bridges, flyovers, railway tracks, hospitals, and schools. And sometimes it's also important to reduce the price of the essential commodities when there is a rise in their price, such as onion, petrol, diesel, etc. To increase the supply of electricity also, that is also done by the government. To take action on many social issues, running postal and railway services, to maintain peaceful relation with other countries, to protect the boundaries. It is also responsible for ensuring that all its citizens have enough to eat and have good health facilities. Okay, and for this they are running so many programs to provide the grains and other things at a cheaper rate, and so many hospital dispensaries, these are also built. These are only to provide the good health facilities. When there are natural disasters, it organizes aid and assistance for the affected people. Okay, and it also treat everybody equally. If there is any conflict, then we can take the help of the government. So these all are the various works which the government is doing, and I hope you came to know that how the government is important to us, because there are so many things which the government is doing and which is affecting us directly and indirectly. Governments are responsible for providing services that individual cannot effectively provide for themselves. Okay, such as the military defense, fire and police departments, roads, education, social services, environmental protection. So these all are the various things which are taken care by the government, and government is a very important part of a country. Clear? Okay, now let us discuss like how the government is working, how it manages these all things very nicely. So the government is working at three levels. Okay, these levels are the local level, state level and the national level. Now let me briefly tell you about these things. If we are talking about national level, here we are talking about the central government which works at the national level, which take care of the whole country. Second is the state level. As we know that there are 28 states and every state has its own government, and this government is taking care of a particular state. For example, the government of Punjab will take care of the Punjab state, government of Haryana will take care of the Haryana state, government of Himachal Pradesh, it will take care of Himachal Pradesh. In this way, there are 28 states and each state has its own state government, so that there will be the smooth working of a particular state. Then next one is at the local level. At the local level, there we have, like in the villages, we have the village panchayats. We can call them gram panchayat also, and in the urban we have the municipality or the municipal corporation. So these are the working at the local level, and these three level they maintain a proper balance between the working of the government. And by having these three levels of the government, it is very helpful for every citizen, and every problem is discussed. Okay, like if we are talking about the local level, like if there is a problem the villagers are facing or the people are facing, then they can discuss with the government at the local level and that issue can be solved there. I hope this is clear. Okay, let me repeat again. To manage the various works of the government is working at three levels, that is the local level, state level and the national level. The national level government take care of the whole nation, state level government take care of one particular state, and the local level government works at the village level. Okay, and now next is types of government. So there are different types of government and we are going to discuss here about democracy and monarchy. What happens in democracy? As you can see in this image also, it is the government of the people, by the people, for the people, and this was the definition given by Abraham Lincoln. Okay, now let's discuss about the democratic government. What happens in democratic government? India is a democracy. Okay, and it is the largest democracy of the world. Okay, and it was not always there like this, and as you people are aware of the freedom struggle, so earlier there was the rule of the British government. Okay, and a lot of people they have struggled throughout their life to get the freedom, and even there are some other countries also those who have struggled to have the democracies. So what is the main feature of a democratic government? The main feature of a democracy is that the people have the power to elect their leaders. Okay, the people they can choose their own leaders. They will decide who will rule them. And the basic idea is that people rule themselves by participating in the making of these rules. Democratic government in our times are usually referred to as representative democracies. Okay, we are talking about the modern time, and this democratic government they are called as the representative democracies. Now let's discuss how these can be called as the representative democracies. In representative democracies, people do not participate directly but instead choose their representatives through an election process. Okay, these representatives meet and make decisions for the entire population. Let me discuss again what happens in the modern democracies. Like we people, we are the adult of a country, so we will choose our representative. Okay, like in the form of our ward member or the member of legislative assembly or the member of parliament. So we are choosing our representative, and in the same way there will be many representative from the different parts of the country, and these representative they participate in the process of lawmaking. Okay, they will take decision for us, they will make rules for us, okay, on behalf of us. So we people are not directly participating in the process of government, but indirectly we are participating with the help of the representatives, and these representatives they will meet and make decision for the entire population. That's why democratic governments in our times are usually referred to as representative democracies. Now, one very important feature which we have discussed about the democratic government is the vote to choose the representative. Okay, they have the right to choose their representative, and how they are doing this? This is done with the help of universal adult franchise. So let us discuss what is universal adult franchise. All the adults in the country after attaining a certain age are allowed to vote. This is called universal adult franchise. In India, adults after attaining the age of 18 years are allowed to vote. Earlier, this age was 21 years. Even Mahatma Gandhi also advocated the right to vote for everyone. Okay, but it was not like this always. Okay, can you believe that there was a time when government did not allow women and the poor to participate in elections? Yes, in their earliest form, governments allowed only men who owned property and were educated to vote. Okay, and those who are the poor or those who are the uneducated people and those like the women, they were not allowed to vote. Okay, and the country was governed by the rules and the regulation that these few men made. Means everybody is not supposed to choose their leaders. Only few people, those who are educated, those who have their own property, and the men, they were allowed to do this. Okay, so it was also so many people also struggled for this, and later on this right to vote was given to everybody. Okay, now the second form of government is monarchy. Okay, as you can see here, there is one king. Okay, and let's discuss about monarchy. In monarchy, the head of the government is monarch. Monarch means we can call that can be king or a queen. Monarch has the power to make decisions and run the government. The monarch has small group of people to discuss matters, but the final decision is taken by the monarch. King and queens do not have to explain their actions. They are not responsible for their actions. They don't need to explain their decisions or their actions. Okay, they have the supreme power. Clear? They are not responsible for their any action to the people. So this is the monarchical form of government. Earlier, like in India also, you might have read about so many rajas. Okay, even in history, we have read in chapter 5 about the Janpadas and the Mahajanpadas. There also we have discussed about the monarchical form of government, and one kingdom we have discussed, that is Magadh. In Magadh also there was a monarchical form of government, and we have also discussed about Vaji kingdom. Do you remember that? Yes. In Vaji kingdom, like there is the republic form of government where the people, they are choosing their own leaders. Okay, now move to our next topic, that is suffrage movement. So first of all, it's very important to know what is suffrage movement, and as you can see in this image also, like votes for women, women's suffrage movement. So let's firstly discuss about suffrage. Suffrage means a right to vote. Okay, and this movement belongs to the women and the poor people who have to fight for the participation in government. During the World War I, the struggle for the right to vote got strengthened, and this struggle comes to be known as suffrage movement. Let me repeat again. Suffrage means right to vote. Earlier, the women and the poor people, they were not supposed to give vote. Okay, they do not have the right to vote. So after World War One, there was a struggle for this right to vote. Okay, and this movement was known as the suffrage movement. Let's discuss something more about this. During the World War One, men were away from their house fighting in the battlefield. Okay, and at this time, women were called upon to do the work which were earlier done by the men. Women did their best and tried to manage and organize different kinds of works. So people wondered to know that the woman can do such work. Let me repeat again what happens during the World War One when men were away from their house fighting in the battlefield. So whatever work was supposed to be done by the men, that the women had to do, and the women did their best and tried to manage and organize different kinds of work, and the people they wondered to know that the woman can do such work. Okay, and the women begin to be seen as being equally capable for doing hard work and making decisions. So when the women they have done the work of the men, then everybody realized that the women they are also equally capable. They are also doing the equal hard work and they are also capable of making the decision. Earlier the women were not considered equal. Okay, neither they were considered as like they were able to take the decision. So the people who were demanding the right for women and got their demand heard, they chained themselves in rallying in public places and meetings. And in America, women were given right to vote in 1920, while in UK in 1928. So this was all about the women's suffrage movement. Okay, I hope you got this. Okay, let me repeat again about the women's suffrage movement. Women's suffrage movement means earlier the women they were not supposed to give the vote. They do not have the right to give vote, and they started demanding about this, and many people they have also joined them. So this movement was known as the suffrage movement. The movement which was started to get the right to vote for the women is called the suffrage movement. So earlier what happened, the women did not have the right to vote, but during the World War One, when the women were doing the work of man at their workplaces, then the people they also wondered and realized that the women were also capable of doing hard work and making decision. So the movement was started for getting the right to vote for the women, and later on they got success also. In America, women were given right to vote in 1920, while in UK in 1928. That's all about women's suffrage movement. So dear children, that's all about this chapter. Okay, let's recapitulate whatever we have discussed today. Today we have started our chapter with the topic government, and government, as I have discussed earlier, it can be a person or a group of people. It is or can be an organization. Okay, who is making rule, who is taking decision for the whole country. And government is very important, it is very useful, it is doing so many work for a country, which I have discussed with you people, like maintaining good relation with other countries, protecting the boundaries, building and maintenance of different things like roads, hospitals, schools, bridges, flyovers, etc., to control the price of essential commodities. Okay, and also like the railway services and the postal services, these all things they are taken care by the government. Okay, and after this we have discussed about the levels of government. There are three levels of government: local level, state level, and national level. On this level different types of government are working. Okay, and in this way the work of the government can be managed properly. After this we have discussed about the types of government. There are two types of government: one is democracy, other is monarchy. And in democracy we have discussed about India. India is a democratic country, it is the largest democracy of the world. So what happened in the democratic government? It is the government of the people, by the people, for the people. It means the people they have the right to choose their own representative, and the modern democracies they are also called as the representative democracies, because the people do not participate directly in the law making process, decision making processes, or in the working of the government. This is done by the help of or with the help of representatives which are chosen by the adults of the country. And we have also discussed about universal adult franchise. Universal adult franchise means the adults of a country they have the right to vote after attaining a certain age. Okay, and in India also we have this universal adult franchise where everybody, though those who are above 18 years, irrespective of their caste, color, religion, region, language, they all have the right to vote. But earlier it was not happening. Only the few people, they have the right to vote, and after a lot of like the people struggle, later on everybody got the right to vote. Okay, and last topic was the women's suffrage movement, which I have discussed with you. Okay, so dear children, that's all about this chapter. Okay, I hope I have made myself clear as well as the topic also. But still you have any doubt, then we can discuss in the live lessons. Okay, and with these words only, I just want to say take care of yourself. Okay, and have a nice time. Thank you.